Hi, Dreki here, and today I'm reviewing the Vantrue X2. This is a 2K camera based on the OV4689 sensor and Umbrella A12 chipset, a combination that is generally known for good performance. Needless to say, I had some high expectations coming into this camera. For the most part, the cam did meet these expectations. Video quality is solid for both day and night, and the camera has been reliable for the month that I've been using it. Just be aware that since this cam is battery based, you may want to look elsewhere if you live in a place that drops below freezing regularly or gets too hot. In terms of appearance, the X2 absolutely nails the design in my opinion. This camera is dressed in all black, which makes it look sleek and gorgeous. It is made of rigid plastic that does not have any flex. There is a big screen on the back of the camera and buttons are placed on the top and left side. The camera hangs from a suction cup mount, which also provides the camera with power or GPS if you buy the separate module. With 2K file segments at a whopping 800 megabytes each, expect to buy a big memory card with this camera. A 16 gigabyte memory card only holds about an hour and a half of driving. If you want to record a long road trip, you're going to need a 64 gig card. Speaking of video, daytime video quality is quite good. I've had this camera mounted in my car for over a month, and looking back over the sample clips from this time, there was rarely any time I felt I could do better with another camera I own. Color is vibrant and exposure holds well. 2K mode is tack sharp with lots of details in all lighting situations, from rain to sun to overcast. Oncoming license plates are generally readable on 2-lane roads, but not on 4-lane roads. 1080p 60 mode also looks great, with smooth video even as the light starts to fade. The only criticism I have of daytime video that the camera produces comes from its mount and weight. The camera is susceptible to a little bit of wobble, and every bump that the road produces is visible as the camera is jostling, and that causes a little bit of blur. There's also some minor chromatic fringing around the edges of the picture, as in purple lines around detailed objects. For example, this is the worst that I saw. I'm going to slow this down for you and take a look at the top right hand corner of the image, where you can see that the trees and buildings have purple halos. Night video in general is bright, but details do get a little bit smudgy as well. The camera picks up a lot of light, about as much as I can see visually. Just don't expect to read any license plates except in lucky circumstances. 2K mode works best at night for resolution and color because 1080p 60 mode boosts the camera's sensitivity in order to maintain 60 frames per second, and that results in a decent amount of noise. The video still looks smooth though, and I prefer this implementation to other cameras which drop frames until it gets dark enough that they're down to about 30 frames per second, and that causes jittery and jarring video. The way that this camera does it means the video stays smooth at the expense of a little bit of detail. Hey, Dreki here, and this is an audio sample from the Vantrue X2. I accidentally overwrote the audio sample I did while I was driving, so I just ran out to my car and turned it on, so you can hear a sample of what the audio from the camera sounds like. Since this camera is battery based, it means it isn't necessarily as reliable in extreme climates. From my experience, it hasn't been too bad, but batteries don't like hot or cold. It causes them to misbehave. Here in Vancouver, we've had a rare freeze over the last several weeks, so I left the camera in the car to see how it would hold up to the cold. And despite going down to about -6 or -7 Celsius, the camera still booted and recorded video fine. I haven't had a chance to test the camera in hot weather yet, but if you live somewhere where it regularly gets above 30 degrees Celsius, you should probably look at a camera with a super-capacitor instead of a battery. The last thing worth noting is that in its default setting, the G sensor on this cam is way too sensitive. Thankfully that can be set lower because in my first drive with this camera, almost half my files ended up locked and I was just going over speed bumps and normal road bumps. For now this camera is going to be my main camera, at least until my A119S arrives, and then I'll do some comparisons between the two cameras and choose the one with better video quality. Vantrue has overall produced a cam with a nice body and decent video quality. I just wish it came in a super-capacitor model, so that people in extreme climates could permanently install it. Thank you for watching. Visit DrekiTech.com for more.